Bugungi darsimizda Cambridge 14 Test 1 Section 3 analizni davom ettiramiz. Bu listing analizlari dangasa o'quvchilar uchun qilingan analizlar. Xo'p, boshlaymiz. Nima qilishimiz kerak? Birinchi navbatda savollarni o'qib chiqamiz. Question 21 to 25 ABC qilishimiz kerak. Cities built by the sea. Demak, dengiz yonida qurilgan citylar haqida bo'lar ekan. Savollarni o'qiymiz. Carla and Rob were surprised. Demak, ikkalasi ham surprise bo'lish kerak. To learn that coastal cities half the population. Most of the world's largest cities are growing twice as fast. Topishimiz kerak. According to Rob, building coastal cities near to rivers, may bring pollution to cities. Pollution to cities, reduce land available for agriculture. Agriculture muhim bo'ldi. Countryside is spoiled by industry. Countryside muhim bo'ldi. What mistake was made building the damage in 50s? There were not enough of them. Not enough. Made of unsuitable materials. Material bo'lmagan, yaxshi bo'lmagan. Allows the effect of climate change. Didn't allow the effect of climate change. Demak, climate change effektlarini inobatga olmagan ekan. Keyingisi, what do Rob and Carla think that new search should do immediately? Keyword immediately nima qilish kerak? Tezda darhol nima qilish kerak bu bechoralar? Xo'p, topamiz uni. Take measures to restore ecosystem. Restore ecosystem qilish kerak. Pay for new flood prevention system. Flood prevention systemga yangisiga qurish kerak. Stop disposing waste materials into ocean. Stop disposing material bo'ladi. What do they agree should be the priority? Prioritet nima bo'lish kerak? Koordinatsiya bo'lish kerak. Informatsiya sharing bo'lish kerak. Agreement on shared policies bo'lish kerak. Bo'ldi. O'qiymiz, boshlaymiz, davom ettiramiz.
Section 3. You will hear two urban planning students called Carla and Rob discussing their presentation on cities built by the sea, following instructions from their tutor. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
Yo'q, bizda vaqt yo'q.
Now is to talk to 21 to 25.
Boshladik.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is to talk to your partner about your presentations on urban planning. You should have done most of the reading now, so I'd like you to share your ideas and talk about the structure of your presentation and what you need to do next.
Okay, Rob, I'm glad we chose quite a specific topic. Cities built next to the sea. It made it much easier to find relevant information.
Yeah, and cities are growing so quickly. I mean, we know that more than half the world's population lives in cities now.
Yeah, though that's all cities, not just ones on the coast. But most of the biggest cities are actually built by the sea. I'd not realised that before.
Nor me. And what's more, a lot of them are built at places where rivers come out into the sea. But
Tushunarli, bu javob B bo'ladi. Bu bo'lishining sababi nima? Xo'p, o'qiymiz. Cities are growing so quickly dedi. Demak, twice as fast emas. Просто quickly growing dedi. Chiqib ketdi. Half of the population lives in cities dedi. Lekin I thought so it's all cities, not just ones on the coast dedi. Shuning uchun ham A chiqib ketdi. Bu faqatgina coastda bo'yicha half emas, butun shaharlar bo'yicha half bo'ladi. Most of the large cities are actually built by the sea. I didn't realize it. I hadn't realized that, nor me dedi mana. Men bilmasdim buni, men ham bilmasdim. Shuning uchun ham B bo'ladi.
apparently this can be a problem.
Why?
Well, as the city expands, agriculture and industry tend to spread further inland along the rivers. And so agriculture moves even further inland up the river. That's not necessarily a problem, except it means more and more pollutants are discharged into the rivers.
So these are brought downstream to the cities?
Right. Did you read...
Tushunarli, nima dedi? Coastal yonida qurishi, riverlar yonida qurishi yomon tomoni bu. Shahar kattalashgan sayin countryside bilan qishloq tomon bilan fermalar tepaga chiqib ketaveradi, inland yer tomonga kirib ketaveradi, river bo'ylab dedi. Lekin bu muammo emas, landni qisqarishiga sabab bo'lmaydi dedi. Prosta muammo bo'ladigan narsa o'sha landda yurgan, ishlatgan anolaring, chemicallaring riverdan cityga keladi. Demak, bu cityga pollution olib keladi dedi. Mana It means that more and more pollutants are discharged into rivers. Demak, pollutantni o'sha fermer uchun mana kerak ularga, mana shunaqa asot bir narsa kerak. O'shani daryoga tashlaydi, daryo orqali shunday oqib shaharga kelib odamlarni zaharlaydi. Shuning uchun ham eydida. Mana bitta o'qib olinglar agar muammo bo'ladigan bo'lsa.
That article about Miami on the east coast of the USA?
No.
Well, apparently back in the 1950s, they built channels to drain away the water in case of flooding.
Sounds sensible.
Yeah, they spent quite a lot of money on them, but what they didn't take into account was global warming. So they built the drainage channels too close to sea level, and now sea levels are rising, they're more or less useless. If there's a lot of rain, the water can't run away. There's nowhere for it to go. The whole design was faulty.
So
O'z ko'rgizga Miamida qurdi, lekin shu global warmingni e'tiborga olmaganda, climate change e'tiborga olmaganda, ko'zga qirg'oqqa juda ham yaqin qurib qo'ygan. Undan keyin nima bo'ldi? Bo'ladigan ish bu tez ko'p yomg'ir yog'ib ketsa, water ketib qolmaydi, chunki qirg'oqqa yaqin qirg'oq ko'tarilib ketadi. Mana they spent quite a lot of money, but what they didn't take into account was global warming. They built the drainage channels too close to sea levels. Now sea levels are rising. They're more or less useful. Demak, daryo dengiz sathi shunday ko'tarilgandan keyin ular drainage channel, o'sha quritish sistemasi shunday yopib ketadi. Foydasi bo'lmaydi. If there's a lot of rain, the water cannot run away. There's nowhere for it to go. The whole design was faulted. Mana shu qisqasidan shunday javob bor.
what are the authorities doing about it now?
I don't know. I did read that they're aiming to stop disposing of wastewater into the ocean over the next 10 years.
But that won't help with flood prevention now, will it?
No, really, they just need to find the money for something to replace the drainage channels in order to protect against flooding now. But in the long term, they need to consider the whole ecosystem.
Right. Really though?
O'z ko'rganingizdek, Karla so'radi, nima qilyapti ular o'zi? Ularning plani shu, waste materialni dispose qilishni to'xtataman dedi. Lekin bu foyda bermaydi-ku, nima qiladi bu? I don't know, I didn't realize that I'm going to stop disposal mana. Over the next 10 years, but that won't help with flooding now. Demak, hozir yordam bermaydi-ku, demak, ana chiqib ketdi. Chiqib ketdi. Yeah, no really, they just need to find the money to pay to find the money. Qisqasi, for something to replace the drainage channels bo'ladi. Demak, bu new flood prevention system B bo'ladi. In order to protect against the flooding now, but in the long term, bu uzoq muddatda, xo'p, now-ni B bo'ldi, uzoq muddatda esa butun ekosistemani o'zgartirishni o'ylab chiqish kerak. Bu uzoq muddat bo'lgani uchun immediately emas, hozir emas, chiqib ketdi. Kings.
Coastal cities can't deal with their problems on their own, can they? I mean, they've got to start acting together at an international level instead of just doing their own thing.
Absolutely. The thing is, everyone knows what the problems are, and environmentalists have a pretty good idea of what we should be doing about them, so they should be able to work together to some extent. But it's going to be a long time before countries come to a decision on what principles they're prepared to abide by.
Yeah, if they ever do.
Whatever. Qisqasi nima dedi? Coordination qilishimiz kerak. Birga, they should be able to work together dedi mana. The thing is everyone knows what problems are. Demak, hamma problemalarni biladi. Everyone does have a pretty good idea of what we should be doing. Chiqib ketdi. U biladi nima qilishimiz kerakligini. So they should be able to work together to some extent. Ular birga ishlay olish kerak, koordinatsiya qilish kerak. Shuning uchun ham bo'ladi. Bo'ldi. Keyingisi 26-ga qaraymiz. Xo'p, historical background, geographical factors, past mistakes, future risk, international implications. Your visuallarni ishlat, keep it short dedi. Other studentlarni involve qil dedi. Check the information is accurate dedi. Provide handout dedi. Focus on one example dedi. Online research dedi. Qisqasi visual degani o'sha rasmlardan foydalanib, qisqaqa boshqa studentlardan anaqa kirgiz, boshqa studentlarni ham informatsiyang to'g'rimi, xatomi tekshirib ol. Provide handout demak, qog'ozcha listочкаlar razach qil. Keyingisi focus on one example, bitta primerga e'tibor qarat, online research qil. Ko'ramiz.
Look at questions 26 to 30. Questions 26 to 30.
Let's go.
So, I think we've probably got enough for our presentation. It's only 15 minutes.
Okay, so I suppose we'll begin with some general historical background about why coastal cities were established. But we don't want to spend too long on that. The other students will already know a bit about it. It's all to do with communications and so on.
Yes.
Qisqasi, we don't need to spend too much on that. Already students know this dedi. Qisqa qadida, kalta qadida. Xo'p, nimaga? I suppose we begin some general historical background why it's established. We don't want to spend too long on that. Demak, ko'p vaqt sarflamaymiz, chunki boshqa studentlar already biladi bu narsani.
We should mention some geographical factors, things like wetlands and river estuaries and coastal erosion and so on. We could have some maps of different cities with these features marked.
On a handout, you mean? Or some slides everyone can see?
Yeah, that'd be better.
It'd be good to go into past mistakes in a bit.
Xo'p, map qilamizmi? Handoutni map beramiz dedi. Handoutda beramizmi yoki slaydda ko'rsatamizmi? That slide would be better dedi. Shuning uchun ham olamiz. Xo'p, ko'ramiz buni. Mana on handouts you mean or some slides can everyone see? Yeah, that would be better. Demak, that would be better degan demak slide ber dedi. Slide yaxshiroq dedi.
More detail. Did you read that case study of the problems there were in New Orleans with flooding a few years ago?
Yes, we could use that as the basis for that part of the talk. I don't think the other students will have read it, but they'll remember hearing about the flooding at the time.
Okay.
O'z ko'rganingizdek, bu talk uchun basis sifatida o'shani focus bitta examplega focus qilishimiz mumkin edi. Shuning ham F oldim, o'chirib tashladim, ko'ramiz. Hop, New Orleans, yes, we could use it as a basis for the part of the talk. Asosiga asnova qilib olishimiz mumkin. Boshqa studentlar eshitgan, lekin bilmaydi buncha narsani.
So that's probably enough background.
So then we'll go on to talk about what action's been taken to deal with the problems of coastal cities.
Okay. What else do we need to talk about? Maybe something on future risks, looking more at the long term if populations continue to grow?
Yeah, we'll need to do a bit of work there. I haven't got much information. Have you?
No, we'll need to look at some websites. Shouldn't take too long.
O'z ko'rganingizdek, ish qilishimiz kerak, veb-saytlarga qarashimiz kerak dedi. Shuning uchun ham G bo'ldi javob. Qaraymiz nimaligini. Well, we need to do a bit of work here. Mana birinchi keyword. I have much information. Now we need to look at some websites. Javob bo'ladi. Bu shouldn't take too long. Demak, shu bilan shu savolga bu javob G bo'ldi.
Okay. And I think we should end by talking about international implications. Maybe we could ask people in the audience. We've got people from quite a lot of different places.
That'd be interesting if we have time, yes. So
Auditoriyadan o'ylasak bo'lmaydi, so'rasak bo'lmaydi, chunki boshqa turli xil joylardan olganmiz. That would be interesting. Okay, if you have time, yes dedi. Shuning uchun ham vaqtimiz bo'lsa qilamiz dedi. Shuning uchun ham skip bo'ldi javob. Xo'p, qani. Yeah, I think we should end up thinking about international implications. Maybe we could ask people in the audience. Auditoriyada odamlar so'raylik. We've got from quite different places. That would be interesting. If we have time, yes. Yeah, shall we? That's it. Tamam. Keyingiga o'tamiz. Section 4 ga o'tdik.